Friday the 13th, the game, released May 26, 2017, developed by Elphonic and Gun Media, is an interesting game to review 8 months later. Where it has some notable improvements, 8 months later, is it still worth playing? Still, this game review will be split up into 5 categories: gameplay, graphics, community, features, and stability. Let's start with the gameplay. As Jason, your objective is to kill 7 counselors before they can escape by means of car, boat, police, or before they can kill you, which by the way is very tough. As Jason, you have a variety of executions, traps, or just slash them to death like a low skill player. And you have traps. Jason has 5 abilities. He can teleport around the map, shift, which is essentially a short range teleport, sense, which helps you see counselors in the woods, and highlight the house red if they are inside, or if a radio is active. And last and definitely least is stalk, which is like sense, but doesn't highlight anyone. It just improves Jason's hearing. I use this the least out of all the abilities, and rage, which is a passive ability that refills your abilities quickly and helps you break down some small walls and doors quickly. Also, as Jason, you can destroy fuse boxes, radios, and stop cars by smashing them if they are driving towards you. Now onto the counselors. As a counselor, your job is to escape Jason. You have a variety of weapons to stun him, like axes, pipes, sticks, machetes, flare guns, and shotguns. You also have 3 inventory slots that you can carry: a fuse for a phone box, medical spray, pocket knives, and car keys. The goal of the counselor is to escape by repairing the boat, which you need gasoline and a propeller. The boat can only fit 2 people though, and Jason can tip the boat and kill you very easily. You also can repair 2 different kinds of cars: a yellow 2-seater and a blue 4-seater. How you repair them is you need a battery, gasoline, car keys. Sorry about that. Calling the police is a little more simple. You just need to find a fuse, which is usually close to the house that contains the phone. After that, there's a wait time between 4 and 5 minutes for the police to arrive, so you can run to them and escape. Arguably, this is the easiest way to escape Jason. Each time you repair anything, you have to play a short minigame, which is very easy once you get the hang of it. And lastly, you can kill Jason, which is done by finding a radio, call in Tommy Jarvis, the protagonist of Friday the 13th, 4 and 5, and then you must find Jason's mom's sweater, which is in Jason's cabin, but be warned, Jason will be alerted from there, and you must use the sweater on Jason and have someone use a weapon to drop Jason to his knees. Then Tommy must execute him either with an axe or a machete. No, I've never seen anybody legitimately do this. Now on to the next category, the graphics. The graphics in this game are, I would say, a mixed bag in some ways. The environments in Jason look really good, but the counselors and the water effects, not so much. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time on the graphics, especially the counselors. I'll just show you a picture of one of the faces the counselor makes. And now on to the community, and oh my fuck, it's a toxic one, guys. You have people that whine if you kill them, or if you grab an item that they want. And there's like the try-hard Jasons that just are dicks to everybody, and it's terrible. You also have hosts for each game, where basically, if the host quits, it will negate all the XP that you've earned in that game. Which honestly, I hate rage quitting in general. So whenever someone like rage quits and they're the host and the game ends and I lose stuff, that just makes me even more angry. Now, as for the features of the game, it contains 4 large maps and 3 small maps. The maps are, small maps are basically shrunk down versions of the large maps. And it makes the game go by a little quicker, but it just truthfully feels a little bit lazy in my opinion. Because if you really, I'm not trying to rag on this, of course, but if you really get down to it, how would you feel if, you say you bought DLC for a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty, and it was yeah, we just shrunk down one of the larger maps? You'd be pretty pissed, but I'm getting off topic here. There's also a total of 13 counselors, and I'm not gonna really talk about each stat of the counselor, but I'll show you a chart, which I'll pull up right here. And you also have Tommy Jarvis, which has the highest stats of everybody. There's 8 playable Jasons in this game. And the Jasons, there's a lot of small differences. Couldn't really find a chart of it. But honestly, the Jasons are a nice variety in some ways because you have from all parts, and coming by, well, hopefully soon, according to Elphonic and Gun Media, they're really good at keeping updates there. Jason X will be joining, which you can find in the virtual cabin. But you have to do a long series of Easter eggs, and I am not fucking explaining any of that. Now, lastly, let's talk about the stability. Now, it's no secret, at the very beginning, when this game launched, it had a very horrendous start. Like, there was crashes every, 2 games, sometimes even 1 game. You would just get dashboard, you'd lose XP, people would just randomly disconnect, and if Jason did, you'd win the round. It was a little funny, but it's just one of those things that it had a really bad launch. Now, as for how the game stands today, it definitely has improved in a lot of ways. Like, I haven't really noticed too many crashes. It's very few and far between. But when they do, it is still a little frustrating to see a game that's 8 months old, almost a year, that's still having these issues. But let's be fair on this one. Most games today will crash, no matter how old they are. It's just how gaming has been going. Constant online and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, in summary of this whole review, one positive I can definitely say about this game is the fact that it is a lot of fun to play with friends. But only if you have friends. The $40 price tag, it may be low compared to a lot of the $60 price tags. But here's something for you to think about. If you bought the game to play by yourself or just with some toxic ass randos, you're gonna not have a really good time. But overall, I would say this game is worth the $40 just for admission. And you can play with some friends. It's a lot of fun. I'd give this game a solid 7 out of 10. Well, I hope you all enjoyed my very first review. Sorry if the mic's a little off. I'm not having a good time with mics. But I will be back in March with my regular Let's Plays. This is kind of like a little test. See how I like doing this, and if this does well enough, I'll do more reviews. Alright, well, this has been Real Savage Gaming. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed.